With Sonic Frontiers scheduled to come out at the end of the year, we're already getting plenty of screenshots, a few more teasers here and there, and a lot more information about what the game is going to be. One of the big informations that we got is, well, one of the common complaints fans have had about, previous Sonic games is the fact that basically they've been too short. I think the longest game in the past 20, 10, 15 years, the longest games prior to what we're going to be getting happened Sonic 06, and I believe by extension before that, well, I wouldn't say extension, but before that, respectfully, Sonic Adventures 1 and 2. Those, along with Sonic 06, I think were the longest ones in the games, in the Sonic game franchise. Well, now apparently the people behind Sonic Frontiers have said that this one is going to make up for all the shortness of the previous games, and that it is going to be a long one in its own right. I mean, it being open world and everything, yeah, I think that pretty much does, spell the, or not spell, but does add the ingredients for very long gameplay that, believe you me, once people start uploading gameplay on YouTube and everything, it's going to take a while for them to, get through the complete playthrough and everything, if you know what I mean, of the game. But that is not all. We did find out some information. One of the things that people were wondering about was who was the voice speaking with Sonic. Well, we found out who that voice is. It is a new character, kind of a ghost spirit-like character called Sage. And she apparently, yes, it is a she, apparently is the spirit, or at least one of the ghostly spirits of the island that's telling Sonic to get off the island. Now, what we do know about the story and why Sonic's on this island is because he and his friends go through some kind of wormhole, and he ends up on the island while his friends Tails and Amy and probably others end up in a different dimension or a different world. So, or at least another part of the planet or wherever that could be. So Sonic's on this island trying to find some clues as to, as to wanting to try to be able to retrieve his friends. And basically Sage is like, you got to get off. That is basically her character motive here. Now, here's the thing. We don't know exactly, whether or not she's going to be a protagonist or, an in-between anti-protagonist, if you know what I mean. Basically someone that's like an anti-hero but is good, but, needs convincing to fully turn to the right side or something. We don't know. All we know is that she is apparently going to be the spirit voice that talks to Sonic and tries to convince him to leave the island. Now, what's interesting is a lot of people were speculating that, since this was going to be an open world game and it was going to be a little be different, that the spirit girl was going to be Amy. People thought that, and it might be some truth to that eventually, but we're not really sure. But right now, all signs and fingers are pointing towards this Sage character as being that voice. Now, again, what role she plays ultimately in the end is up to the story that Ian Flynn, yes, Ian Flynn wrote the story, at least helped write the story. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what role he and other people that helped write the story, because honestly, with all due respect to Ian, I don't think he wrote the entire story. I think he wrote like a majority, but the other parts are probably written by other people. But but anyway, we'll have to see, like I said, what direction they take this character in her role as the person, as the one that's trying to get Sonic to leave the island, or something, like how the interaction between her and Sonic are going to be throughout the game. But yeah, it looks like, we are getting more information as to what the game is going to be like, what characters are going to be primary characters involved in everything, and basically how long gameplay is going to be. Like how big this game is going to be when it's all said and done. Because remember, when Sonic Adventure came out and Sonic Adventure 2 came out, both people compared those games back to back to each other as being some of the longest Sonic games they have ever played. I think some people have even said that 1 is longer than 2, and others have said 2 is longer than 1. And then of course you had Sonic 06, which I think some people made the comparison and saying it's as long as 1 or as long as 2. And now we got Sonic Frontiers, which probably is going to blow a lot of those out of the water. So again, we'll see what they got planned and what they have in mind, but it's really interesting to see this happening, and to see to see it happening game wise, but also to get more information as time has gone on. And I can't wait for the game. I really can't. The one thing I am curious about is whether or not when you do like find the characters, like I remember playing Sonic Generations, and the one thing that always kind of got under my skin is, even though you would free the characters and everything, and that's just me scratching my beard, that when you would free the characters from the stone prisons, they were not playable, which was kind of stupid. I was thinking, wait a minute, if we're going to free them, can't they be playable? And unfortunately they weren't. So hopefully that's going to change here. Hopefully that's going to change here. One thing about Sonic Forces is basically I think you can play as the other characters as well. I gotta go back and play it myself, but besides the creative character you make, which is the focal point of the game, I think you can play as the other characters, but I'm not entirely sure or anything. I think you can, or at least you can assist them. I'm not really sure. But that's the one thing I'm hoping they address here with this one, is that when you do find Tails, you do find Amy, you find Knuckles, you find Rouge, and all of them, that you can play them in some capacity. So hopefully they'll address that, and hopefully we'll get that. But again, like I said, we'll have to see. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys. What are your thoughts on the information we've gotten, the more information we've gotten for Sonic Frontiers? How do you feel about it? What are you looking forward to in the game? How long and big do you think this how big do you think this game's going to be, and how long do you think it'll actually take to finish from beginning to end? Do you think we'll get other characters in there to where, to the point, I should say, to where once we find them, save them, that they'll become playable? What are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comment section, or in the live chat during the premiere. Like the video, and until then, guys. Oh, and super thanks will also be enabled after the video, guys, and that will help out tremendously if you can do that. Until then, guys,